Hey everybody, my name is Swamp, and this has been a long time coming, I guess. It has been... honestly, I don't even know when my last video was, but all I know is it has been such a long time. Yes, I am not dead. No, I am not trying to get into the swing of wanting to make YouTube videos again or anything else like that. Well, maybe I am, I have no idea. But this video is just more of the explanation of what's been going on, just to reassure that I'm not dead. you know when I first started the channel, I was on the whole deal of like wanting to become a YouTuber and wanting to do all these things, but the more I've been thinking about it and the more I've been trying to get in the swing of things, I have been thinking about it a lot. The only reason this video is even up right now is because I am currently jobless at the moment, but that has changed. I have an interview with a inspection job for vehicles come Monday, whenever this video is made. Hell, maybe when this video is out, I'll already be starting that job. But I'm more or less wanted to focus on the aspects of what is going on right now, what is the main thing that's going to be going about, and everything else like that. More personal things. I did want to try to become not really much of a full-time editor, obviously, for the fact that I started a new job and everything else like that, but more the fact I wanted to try to at least get the hang of this. For those who may be wondering or maybe interested on what I am doing for this one, I'm using Filmora Pro. I recently bought it because it's definitely cheaper than Sony Vegas, and of course it won't crash or crap out on me if I decide to do any of that stuff. But yeah, I recently bought it. I've honestly been wanting to do it for a long time, and so here I am. What am I wanting to do? I have been talking with friends and everything else like that on, if they could send me other videos. So hopefully around that time when this gets uploaded, maybe I'll have a couple of projects just out and about. Possibly while I'm, in the process of getting hired on with a job or anything else like that. But for the most part, I've just been wondering what I want to do and how I want to do things, especially since I have been fucking depressed being out of a job, especially since more the fact that I know it may or may not be depressing to some people, but I realize how much I actually enjoy working. Because as the time of recording this, I have been out of a job for about 2 months. Luckily, I've hardly gone into a whole deal of, like, for example, being on Amazon or on Steam or other things like that, so I haven't been purchasing a lot of things. I have been looking respectfully, even if that's something that you want to call it. And I apologize if I sound a little nervous or don't really sound enthused about doing all this, because I'm still brand new to this thing, especially since this channel has been up since, I think last time I checked, 2013. Meanwhile, I am going on my phone to actually check and see if that's the case, which it has been, with only having 22 subscribers. Which is not a big deal for me. I mean, on the whole deal, it has been a hell of a couple of years, I would say. And I have to go on the YouTube app and not YouTube Studios, because that's how this thing works. But I've had this channel since 2014, October 1st, 2014. That is how long this has been up. Wow, that is something. In my last video, or my most recent video, was 4 weeks ago of a D&D stream, when before that was a year. Yeah, I am on top of YouTube, as you can tell. But no, I have been more of watching YouTube than actually actively making content. I don't know what it is about me and doing stuff like that. All I know is that I like to watch content, even though that, especially nowadays, a lot of my favorite YouTubers, not all of them, but a good amount of them, have been less than accepted, or they've done some shady shit. I won't even lie to you on that. They have done some completely, really just obscure, shady shit, done some downright horrible things, and one is just butthurt because nobody likes them anymore. And for those who are wondering, especially with the butthurt thing, for the most part, and I'll just go ahead and say this now, Minilad has been my favorite YouTuber before all the shit about him came to light, about that whole thing, which really upset me, because, like I said, Minilad has been the person I watched the most. I'll even say this, Minilad was the YouTuber that I would watch. Every time a new video would be uploaded, every time that he would do a stream or something like that, I would at least try to be on top of that, especially considering at least around that time shit wasn't going the right way, or his videos were one of the main things that I just would constantly be on top of things with. And once all this shit popped out, I mean, I don't have to explain anything to any of you who are just a random viewer. For anyone who does not know who he is, just search up Minilad and the lad with 2 D's. You'll understand what I mean and everything else like that. But yeah, YouTube has just had a weird hole of things. Twitch too, but we're not talking about Twitch. Mostly talking about YouTube, at least what have envisioned. As far as this channel is concerned, there's probably not going to be any more videos unless there is an active need or want to with this. Because what I will say is I do have a project planned. It's probably not going to see the light of day until maybe a couple more months down the road, or maybe even a year, because me and a couple friends are still trying to work out how it would work and how we would want to do things. Because I'll go ahead and say what I'm planning on doing. Whether it actually happens is more of how we feel, but we are trying to get in the whole realm of podcasting. As for that, apparently my headset decided to shut off because it has to have audio playing for it to work. I thought me just talking into it would just kind of circumvent that, but apparently not. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it up on the charger just to make sure it doesn't do that again. Anyway, like I was saying, we're trying to do a podcasting thing about just doing things like D&D. Now, I will just say, we understand we are not going to try to copy Critical Role. We are not trying to, make this into a whole Twitch stream where we have thousands of viewers and we make, so much amount of money a month or a week, depending, and everything else like that. That's not what we're trying to do at all. We have so many great moments when we play our games that we just want to just kind of share it, or at least if not share it, just kind of have a moment that we can just go back to the channel or an episode and just look back, listen to, and just think of, oh yeah, that's what happened. More of the main purpose, I guess. The main purpose is to go ahead and just have maybe not some sort of following, but at least just have it out there, Second purpose would just be for like, if there is a moment in the game that we forgot about, we can always just look back on the episode itself just to see, okay, so that's why this is like this and not the other way around type thing. Because that is one of the other things that I guess that has never been said on this channel. At least you've seen it. I've tried my best to post episodes on it just for like my own sick of mind. But yeah, I do regularly play D&D. Now, the group that I mentioned that we were talking about doing podcasts, I play with them every Saturday night. We're just a good friend group. We enjoy each other's company. We don't necessarily give a shit about anything. We just love to shoot the shit and have fun. Now, would we be a PC type of stream? Probably not, because we do say some outlandish shit. We do get risky. So, main thing about the whole thing is just to understand that our voices are being recorded. We do have the choice on if we want to air it or not, but it's still more the fact of like, let's at least attempt to, be somewhat considerate of just anyone who decides to listen to us. Like, we don't have to go too far of like, being swear free or anything else like that. Like, no, we don't have to do any of that, but more of like, need to be considerate. No talk about racial issues or anything else like that. More of the whole deal of like, let's just understand that there are people out there who have a different mindset than a lot of others out there. So let's just try to understand that everybody has their own opinion and they're entitled to that. And let's just not focus on anything political. Let's not focus on how the state of the world is, because no one wants to watch a video about that. Or at least how we're trying to set everything up. We're not going to try to make anything about that. What we want to do for the most part is to, just make it, have a D&D video of just us shooting the shit, having fun, not talking about this or that or the other. We just want to have fun and hopefully just escape into have us and other people who may or may not listen to us escape into a world of just make-believe that is not serious at all. It will have its serious moments, but for the most part it is just, I'm trying to figure out what the word is, but for the most part just not caring. We just have fun. We do our own thing. There's not a whole deal of like, let's focus on this, or let's have a conversation about this thing that's happening or anything else like that. We just need to understand that this is happening, but we don't have to talk about it. And it's just been, I know I'm talking kind of low because like I said, it's been a while since I've done anything like this. Talking low is about the only thing I can really manage. Even though I'm trying not to do that, it's something that I just do. I'm still running, let's just change the topic a little bit, I guess. As far as what's been going on, or at least what I'm running with now, I'm still running with the same PC that I've ran with at least videos like Euro Truck and Overgrowth that are still on this channel. I still have that PC that I've been running with for a long time. It was back in 2017, I believe, is when I first bought all the parts and built this PC, and I'm still running strong, surprisingly, especially with all the shit that I've just been filling with it, and especially for that fact that whenever you download something on a PC and decide to delete it later, it's not going to completely get rid of it. You don't know how many times I've just been thinking about, just buying a new hard drive and RAM sticks, and then just, changing those parts out just to see if it makes it run faster. But no, it has its moments. It still runs strong. It just may take forever to start up if it's shut off, but after like 30 minutes, it's back to where it's usually been. And trying to comment over a video like this, And I have no idea what the music's gonna be like, so I'm not sure if any of the stuff that I'm talking about is gonna be relative to the music playing, even though that's not really gonna matter in the end. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. I recorded an hour of gameplay of this, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. Is this video gonna last for about an hour? Probably not. It's probably gonna be, 30 minutes or something like that. But this is just more of the conversation that I've just talking about myself. Like, this has been more of like a video diary, if anything, I guess. I don't know. But I guess, yeah, trying to make a D&D podcast. We're trying to get things up and running. We've been talking with each other whenever we have the chance. We have been just enjoying each other's conversation. We are in the realm of understanding what, is okay and also not okay to say on certain platforms. We've been listening and watching, at least each of us in our free time, of just other people who have, done podcasting or done YouTube things, and understanding what is good and not good to say and everything else like that. I'd say, if anyone, I have been the person who has been listening to podcasts the most. Of course, they've been varied. Most of it's been D&D podcasts, others been just regular bullshit type podcasting. I've been trying to figure out a way to just have everything work out, I guess. Like, being without a job for 2 months has been one of the most boring experiences I've ever had before in my life. And that's saying something, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't first get an actual legit job until I was 17, and I didn't get a license until I was 19. That's saying something. But at least from when I was 19 until now, I have had a job. I have been working. I have been getting stuff done. I have made a good amount of money to where I have a truck that I have from my own. Technically two, I have one truck that I just completely, bought, and I have another one that I'm making payments on. And just because the first one, I could get it up to where I could have it, just be my permanent truck. Because I tell just anyone who had the type of car talk, still have that truck today if I could get it at least registered. It was registered before I bought it. It ran out, got a ticket, went to register it, couldn't register it. The only thing I just regret was taking the plates off of it. I should have just told the lady, it's like, you need to take the plates off your truck, if it can't be registered, then you can't have plates on it. I should have just said, like, no, it just can't be inspected. I just need to fix stuff on it to inspect it. I should have just said, like, no, I can't do that. It's not illegal to refuse, and I don't think it's illegal to refuse Department of Transportation. Like, I can't, to refuse them to give them your plates. So, I should have just said, like, I can't do that. It's the only vehicle that I can actually drive in. I'll risk getting some tickets and all that if it means, me being able to get the money to be able to fix it, But shit happens. Shit happens. It's going to continue to happen. I can't just stop what I'm doing to cater to it, One of the main things that I've been trying to figure out also, for the most part, is, since I have all the downtime in the world, at least until next week, is, what do I want to do? Like, if anything, this would be the perfect opportunity, as far as at least doing something, is to try out editing. Like, I'm not sure if in this video, if I'm going to do anything super special about it. All I know is that I am going to cut out some voice lines or some parts that I've just been either completely silent or been stuttering over my words. That way it can seem somewhat professional, or seem somewhat known that I am actually giving a damn about this. Actively trying to, make it seem like I am putting the work and the effort to at least have this video be somewhat, like I am trying to put in the work in this video. The other times I just haven't had the access to editing software. Like for example, Me. I think it's just called Me. I think yeah, Me. 30 minutes of just me rambling, because that's all I knew how to do as far as what I could do as far as, you know, having a project. And I do remember, at least when I said in that video, that it would be impossible for me to make a career off of YouTube, just for the fact that you need at least 2 or 3 other people and just have like a group upload thing to get noticed more, which can be this, and I said it's the same thing for Twitch and everything else like that, which I do believe in what I said about that. I still believe it today, but I am more of the part of understanding that you just need to understand that things are going to be how it is, and that shouldn't be the way to look at things. You know, if you give a damn about YouTube, if you give a damn about being a content creator, or, you know, even for example this video, I do care about at least trying to get a video like this out. I am putting in the work to edit it. I do want to get this video out there, and I do want it to be known that I want to do this. I want to try and get something like this done. I'm trying, but I just don't know how it would be in the long run. I'm not sure if I see it as worth it after this video's up here. The main thing is just I don't know. I have to look and see. I have to at least dip my toes in the water before I really decide if I want to do this. At least in my spare time. It's like a hobby I would like to do. You know, maybe for my time off I record a video, you know, depending on how my work schedule is, because I am trying to get a job that is 8 to 5:30. You know, an 8 to 5 job instead of a 9 to 5, yada yada yada. I understand. So I probably won't have the time, but even if I do have a semblance of time, or hell, if it gets to a point to where, you know, I may find another job that may be better for me, that I could have more time doing. You know, if I'm really serious about this, I probably would get a switch over to a part-time job and just say like, you know, this is just something I want to do on the side, and I could do like one of another friend of mine did, and just say like, this is what I want to do. I'm only doing this part-time, and you know, more than likely I'm probably not gonna accept call-ins or anything else like that, just for more of the fact that I'm spending my time on this. You know, this is something that I'm really wanting to do. You know, I don't care if anyone says like it's a waste of time or anything else like that. You know, this is an actual job that you actually need to do, and I'll just say like, well, I'm sorry, I already told you how it was going to be and how this is. You know, this is just me rambling, but then again, I have not responded to call-ins even when I had nothing to do, especially on night shift when nothing's open for you to do anything. The only other time I've actually refused to come into work when I was still on night shift is I was awake in the middle of the daytime in Easter. I got a call saying, can you come into work tonight? I said like, I am currently in my hometown on Easter. I've been up since I guess like around 12 or something like that, which is technically midnight. No, it was 10 o'clock, or got there at 10. It said I just basically I woke up in the middle of the night to hang out with family, and it's been going on for like 3 or 4 hours. You know, I'm not even going to be I'm not going to be even functioning, because if any of you guys are on night shift, or for someone who's just looking for a random video because, you know, they have nothing else better to do, I know night shift sucks. I've dealt with it. I understand your pain. You are not alone. I guess as far as other jobs that I've had that I can just bring out, the night shift job was working at a fast food place, which once it gets to a certain time, it's super fucking easy. It's so easy. But I still hated that job. I loved my coworkers there. They were awesome. I enjoyed the shit out of them, but I still hated the job. So I finally, my other job that I've worked for almost a year, I was so close. That fast food job I only worked for 4 months because I absolutely fucking hated it, and I was so close to just saying fuck this. I'd rather be jobless than have to work this shit. And I still stand true with that statement. I would 100% rather be jobless than to work another minute in that fast food place. Even though I know that they would take me back because they're always looking for people, I still say fuck that, I'm not doing it. My second job, after, fucking suffering trying to get back into getting back into becoming a normal person and getting back into the daytime aspect, was a job like I said, I worked for about a year, almost a year. I was 3 months off from working there for a full year, and the job was easy. There have been some days it's been bullshit, other days where it's been fucking great, and I have considered going back to it because I didn't burn any bridges down over there, so I know they would take me back. I guess the only reason I haven't is just for the whole deal of like, I left that job for something better. I don't want to have that deal of like, tucking my tail between my legs and coming back and say like, I lost my job over here, I want to come back, or anything else like that. Because there has luckily only been one person that I just did not like, and was the only reason why I'm not back over there now. And it's just one coworker that I don't like. Of course, around that time, stuff has been switched around, things have been changing, everything else like that, and changed so much to the fact that it is not worth it to go back to that job. Like, after a while, I was just like, you know what, maybe I should. And one of my friends who is in said D&D project told me about everything. He was working over there and told me about everything. And I was just like, yeah, it's not worth it to go back over there. And I made the joke that, I just left there, how can it be that bad? And one of my other friends said like, it's you know what, this is probably more than a coincidence. And I said, how do you mean? It's like, because he worked, technically, there's 2 people in our D&D project that I've worked with. 2 of them was at the 4-month job, and one of them was at the year job. And the person for the 4-month job, he was a manager-esque person who's worked there for 9 years, and he said that when I left, shit just kept on going downhill, and he ended up having to leave that job because he couldn't take the bullshit over there anymore, even though he's dealt with it for 9 years. And the person for the year job, just saying that a lot of things been changing up and everything else like that. I haven't heard anything from the job that that I was currently fired from, because that's the only thing. I've never been fired from a job, but my previous job that I'm now jobless for about 2 months, that's the only job that I've actually legit been fired from. Like, I've never been fired from any job before. I've always left for it was a better opportunity or it was paying more, something like that. But yeah, that was something. And I will go ahead and preface this that 4-month job was not my very first job. My very first job was being a turd toter, and I mean that in the literal sense. I was working with septics, and I worked that job for 4.5 years, and I did enjoy it. But since it was my first job and not understanding how good I had it and everything else like that, and was getting sick of the job at some point, I basically made a bad decision and realized that how much I actually loved doing that job, especially since my boss at that time had my fucking back. And I am serious, and I will, saying that he had my back. But, I mean, you gotta experience other jobs. As far as like a very first legit job that I've had, working for it for 4.5 years, that's just a testament of how much I actually enjoyed it. Like, going back on it, I should have just told my younger self, it's just like, dude, it's not even fucking worth it. It's not a good job. You're gonna hate it. If anything, do this job instead, because you're gonna get paid more. And deal with that first before you decide to do anything else. Don't go for night shift. Night shift fucking sucks. Don't listen to that bitch who told you to take this job, regardless of who she is, because you'll find out later. It has just been a hell of a few years. The only thing I can be confident about, at least taken away from this thing, is like, I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm trying to get things going. One thing that is definitely gonna be happening, even if it's just a one episode thing. I don't care. I will try to make it happen. Is that D&D project? I want to just make that podcast. I want to do something with it, and I want people to be able to listen to it and enjoy it. You know, if they don't understand how the concept of D&D works in general, it doesn't matter. We tend for our deal is just like, we've been playing the game for years. We only have like 2 people, more like 1 person who hasn't had the chance to play it that much, and she is trying to get back into the swing of things for the most part. So when it comes to that, you know, technically we only have 1 new person, but everybody else, they've been playing for such a long time, you know, or played for so long to where they know what class they want to play, they know how to do it well, and we haven't had a lot of problems as far as like problem players. We haven't really had a problem player. We may think of someone who may be a problem player, and hell, that person may even admit, yeah, I'm probably the problem in this scenario. We understand, we enjoy their time, we have fun doing just fucking around, and that is something that I am at least going to try to get done. We're at least going to try to record 1 episode. If that's all it takes, is to where we only do 1 episode and that's it, I'm at least going to try to put that out there, because it is something that I honestly want to do. It's something that we want to do. Like, we've even said, like, we like the idea enough to where that's what we want to try to do. We want to try to do this. We understand that, you know, we just have too much fun with each other. There's no way that we can't just share it. Like, get some other people involved, have them understand, like, this is what we do. We enjoy this, and we want to just put it out there. Just see us bumblefuck around. There are just so many moments that I wish we did record, even if it would just be me recording on my phone, especially for some of the serious shit that happened. I'll just give you a tidbit of what happened, or I'll just explain this situation. Essentially what happened in this point in time of the game, we found out that guild leader of ours, whose wife is also a part of it, more of like the mom of the guild, small guild, was essentially turned into an undead ooze. Which you may say, like, well, if you had a wizard in the party or something like that, or a cleric, it would be easy to detect it. Not necessarily, because how the DM, who was my brother at the time, or I don't know what, that should have been vice versa, my brother, who was the DM at the time, essentially set it up to where, or essentially made a rule to where the only reason it didn't work, because we had a paladin in the party, detect evil undead and all that did work, but instead of being a 30-foot radius, it was reduced to a 10-foot radius, for the fact that the wife's body was used for that ritual to turn her into a blood ooze, or an undead ooze. Which is why, and another thing is, my character had true sight at the time. He could not see it at a certain deal, and it was the same thing for the paladin. Had to be right up on her to see what she actually was. And my character at the time gotten a hold of a 9th level Dispel Magic scroll when we were all like level 6 or something like that. And so the rolls were with me at that time, and I rolled the number to dispel the magic placed on that ooze, and it just melted into a puddle. We were all silent, to the point to where my brother called it for that session. And that next week we were so excited to get back into it, and they would start the session, we were still silent. Like, we were so excited, like, we thought about it for so long, but once the time actually came, we couldn't say anything. We had nothing to say. We tried our hardest to try to figure out some way of just putting something out there, and we couldn't. And that's something that I wish was recorded, just to see how much we were just trying to figure something out. We were trying to get something out there, but we couldn't. and that's what I want to do for this one. I want to try to make a podcast. Like, I already have a channel made. You know, the only reason I haven't done anything with it yet is just for the fact that it's more of a group channel thing. I've made one, so if there were to be a video on that, I will make a separate video uploaded to this one while having a link to that channel, because that would be the main thing. We have settled on a group name, but we're not gonna do it now, for the fact that it's still gonna take a while before we actually do it, and we want to get things going. The one thing that we do know is that that the name specifically has not been taken. It has not been copyrighted. The only thing that we can think that may be a problem is that there is a certain book that has the same themes but doesn't have the same name. To be honest, I'm not sure if we would be in the clear or not. The only thing I can think of as far as a personal thing is I think we would be in the clear. I don't 100% know that. I'm not sure if that is a thing. All I can say is that there is a great possibility, like more than likely, nothing would come about advertised and made it our name. I'm saying that as far as a more than likely scenario. I'm not saying it will never happen. All I can say is more than likely it won't. It's highly unlikely that we would get any flack from using that name. And I'm not, when I say flack as far as legal trouble, that is something that I do believe, or not believe, but it is very, very unlikely we would get into legal trouble with it. Just for the fact of how it's set up, and for said book, it's D&D themed. Like, there's gonna be, like, for example, Critical Role. Even though it's not specifically a particular name, it's just a phrase in a game setting, which would probably be a better way to do it, but we've decided on this name. If we do get into some ounce of legal trouble, they say this and that, you know, it'll probably just boil down to, it's just like, then we won't use the name. We'll make another name. We'll rebrand. But it's something that we're gonna try to do, and I'm really excited if that's the case. We're gonna try to get this thing set up. We're gonna try to talk and get things set up, and we do want to get this set up and out there because it's something that we do enjoy. So all I can say is be on the lookout, at least on this channel, because there will be a video on it. There will be links, and the only thing I can say is we are going to try to upload it to any and all podcasting websites available whenever we do this, whether it comes to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Anchor, or any other podcast that would be available. And of course, I don't think we're gonna do video podcasts. We'll probably just stick to audio, but it'll also be on YouTube. That is the one thing that I can guarantee, because I have done the research and do know what it would take to do all that. So it will be available. The one thing, that is something that I can be certain on. If that changes, it will be let known. I'll let any of you know when it comes to this channel, but I've rambled on long enough. But hopefully this helped bring to light of what's going on, like with me, currently jobless, found a job, gonna try to do an interview and all that. You know, what I'm wanting to do as far as a group project that I've been doing. D&D podcasting is gonna be like the main thing. And as far as what I'm trying to do and everything that's like that, hopefully the editing aspect of it works out well. And I will say, as far as a goal, or at least as far as this project that we've been thinking about doing, we want to get to the point to where we have a steady viewership. As far as like a personal goal for now, like goals are like, how we're gonna do is like, we're always gonna have a different goal. We're always gonna have something that is different. We're always gonna have a new goal to shoot for. So when it comes to that, I would imagine for this goal to get at least 100 subscribers for YouTube, with at least 1,000 views on at least all of the podcasts listed. Wherever it comes to any type of podcast that would be out there, if we could at least get 1,000 listens, from the different podcasts or on YouTube itself, whatever it be, that would be the first goal. And I say that that would be a goal that is recognized as like, we can do this. Showed us, at least as far as analytics is concerned, that people are interested in this, that we can actually do this. And as far as keeping that going, we might make a Patreon. We may do some stuff to help better the podcast. You know, we might at a certain point, if we get big enough, do some charity streams. You know, it's whatever. We're thinking about this. We're not 100% sure if we'll actually be able to follow through with it, but for the most part, our main goal is to upload at least one episode. And if we get good with that, maybe post more and get to a point to where we can at least have 100 subscribers on the channel and maybe 1,000 views or listens from either YouTube or podcasting. At least as far as a sign, I guess, or at least as far as a tell or that people are actually interested and want us to do more. But okay, this time I've rambled on long enough, so I hope you guys did enjoy. Just be on the lookout on this channel. Maybe check in every month or so. I'm not even going to see every week or every day because it's not going to happen. Maybe every month. Keep an eye out for it because we do talk about it. We do have a group little goal, group change jar that we've been doing to pay for stuff, and we're going to try to get it up there. And hopefully I've answered some curious questions, whether it be from people who have subscribed and haven't changed yet, or for just those who are just clicked on this because they're curious. But yeah, this is something that we're going to do. But keep an eye out for it. I am going to try to get up to this, but otherwise, I hope y'all's day's been going great. Hopefully everything's going well for all of you, and I'll be out there. So I'll see you later, I guess.